plenty.
Good to go.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Let's get this show on the road.
Before you say anything, prepare to shut the fuck up.
Screw me. I ripped ass at the ATM.
McLovin! Nice!
Sit back, relax, and enjoy Irrelevant Platitudes with your hosts, Peter Benici and Lil Dazil. Not today.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to episode number 55, I think, of Irrelevant Platitudes. We are hosts Peter Benici and...
Kayla is here today in the studio. We are bringing you irrelevant commentary on all things pop culture and relationships.
Thanks, man. So we've got Kayla filling in today, and we've got a special guest in the back if you're watching the video. We'll introduce you in 2 seconds. But thank you for filling in. We're going to try a bit of a different dynamic this week. There's something special coming for you guys in the future, so we're just kind of testing it out, guys. To everyone listening in the chat, thank you for coming in nice and early. But how was your week, Kayla?
My week was pretty good, actually. I mean, not too much to report on, to be honest.
Oh, it's been a quiet one.
Working hard, yeah.
It's been 2 weeks since you're on the podcast, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, hasn't come out yet. It's coming out next week to everyone
And
in
we've
live
had a lot of brainstorming, Georgia and I, since me doing this podcast. So
yeah. So well, I guess look, we'll introduce Georgia now because we're going to keep referencing Georgia and she has to sit there quietly. It's quite rude. Hey, Georgia, welcome to the podcast.
What's going on?
How you going, mate?
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
I guess to brief the guys quickly on like what we're going to cover today. We've got yet another fitness person on, and I was like, "Fuck it, you guys do you want to pop the secret and say you might be maybe doing a podcast in the future?"
Potentially. It's in the,
we're going to do it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we were testing the waters today, and we figured why not grill you under the Erplat pot 15 questions.
Absolutely.
So we added some extras for you, so that'll be fun.
Perfect. I can't wait.
Are you excited?
I'm
How you
very
feeling?
excited.
I know you're a bit nervous before, but
A little bit nervous, but
That's all right.
I'm feeling good. Feeling ready for it. I'm excited. And I'm just happy to be here.
fucking oath. How was your week, mate, since we spoke last?
My week is good. This is the first week of prep for me. So
That's right. Like there's no alcohol for any of you
no
guys. I'm
alcohol,
drinking
just
solo,
strictly
which is
0
fucking
cal
depressing.
water,
Soda waters.
But
soda
yeah.
waters.
That is a perfect segue into our drink of the week.
Drink of the week.
All right, so this week we have got, what have we got, Kayla?
This is a good question.
Dash.
So I have no idea what you've brought me.
Yeah.
So we've got some sparkling water infused with wonky mangoes. 0 calories for that
Wonky
matter,
mango.
300
What the fuck
mils.
is a Wonky is...
The question I'm asking, is this alcoholic or
No,
non-alcoholic?
it's not. It's non-alcoholic.
So we are drinking pure soda water with a mango touch.
Most importantly, 0 cals.
That's
yes.
right.
That's
and
what
to
we
all the
want.
homies, I've got vodka and I'll be mixing mine with vodka.
Of course.
But apparently the wonky thing is reducing food waste by accepting misfits. We do not judge on looks.
Oh, that
Very
sounds good.
cool. Very cool.
Cheers.
It's very...
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers to
Hopefully it
soda
doesn't
water.
taste like shit.
I can give you a great recommendation of a brand of great soda water.
Yeah?
Waterford's lemon lime bitters flavour.
Yeah.
Divine. It's absolutely amazing.
Interesting.
The brand Waterford's. I actually love it.
I
It's
need
so
that.
good.
Is it just me or does it smell a bit like sweat?
Actually,
It does,
you're not
right?
wrong.
It smells a bit like sweat.
Yeah.
You know when you take a drink and you're like,
Smell
oh,
that lid. 100%. That's like sweat.
I think we can definitely call that a fail. That's fucking terrible.
I can't not smell that now.
No, yeah. You can. It's like you're drinking sweat. Yeah, it's.
Bless.
I think I'm just used to just drinking soda water these days.
Well, no, because I love soda water, but
Well, let's
like
compare
that's
the
got
pair.
with your
It's got a look.
Pellegrino.
I actually like the wonky one better. What is that
You-
what it's called? Wonky.
That's what she said.
I think it's weird drinking water out of a can, true? Like,
You know what? In the States, there's like massive brands now where they do like monster cans, like it's all kind of that big branding. It's just fucking cans of water.
yeah.
I can't remember the name of the brand, but they're like $50 a slab for water. Yep.
just because it's
Just
in a
drink
can.
out of the tap.
Yeah, well, I think what it's doing is like promoting people to drink water kind of more
But it's like,
frequently, and it
it's
works.
like a bougie way of drinking water.
Yeah. But if it works, right? Because you guys would know out of everyone, like no one fucking drinks water.
Yeah, that is true.
I smash water, to be honest.
Yes, I am constantly
Obviously,
in the
you-
toilet
yeah.
because I drink too much of it.
I drink at least 4 liters a day.
How the fuck do you keep that up?
Do you spend more time in the toilet?
100%.
Jesus
100%.
Christ. All right, but look, I think we'll segue into. Are you ready for the questions, man?
Yep.
It's gonna be a bit spicy. We tried to.
And all the while, you're just really wondering, are we going to get hopped up enough to make some bad decisions? Perhaps play a little game called Just a Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
All right, so we've obviously introduced you already, but I think I would prefer if Kayla explained how you guys met and how this kind of all happened and what brings you into the studio as a unit today.
I actually love how Georgia and I first met. So, obviously, being in the fitness industry, Georgia and I,
Obviously.
lo and behold, have a guess of where we met.
Take one wild guess.
One wild guess of how we met.
Well,
Where-
I thought
where-
it would be
the
like,
location of
if
where
it
we
was,
met.
Yeah, if it was the gym, was it by the bench press?
No, it was actually, in fact,
By the bathroom.
the bathroom. Exactly. So Georgia and
Okay.
I, both of us train in the morning, 6 a.m. early risers. So
I don't know how you guys do that, man.
Yeah. So we have our same routine, and it got to the point where we were literally entering the shower cubicle side by side
Hashi.
every single
Hashi.
day.
Hello. Hello.
So literally, I would be getting ending half naked, throwing my towel over the cubicle, and Georgia would be doing the same. And we would just get stuck talking and talking and talking. She ended up being my new best friend,
100%.
like in the gym. So 6 a.m. every day, I knew I'm going to see Georgia's face. We're going to have a great little chat in the bathroom. I'm going to start my day great.
That's like salaciously
And that is the start
sweet.
of my...
It
was-
was
and
organic.
And do you know what made us even closer too? Because we started doing cold showers every
Oh,
morning.
you know what? I was going to
Yeah.
ask you guys today, and I'm like, that's kind of weird to just ask that question. But so do you guys cold shower all the time? Because Amy just started
We went
recently.
through a big period last year where I think we did it for 6-7 months.
Yeah, we
and
did it for
every
ages.
single morning we did it. Haven't done it as of late, but
Yeah.
yeah, I reckon
Man.
good 6 or 7 months. While especially while I was going through prep, we did it.
Did you just start the day angry though? Like I know it's supposed to release adrenaline. And it's
No,
like that
we-
No,
slow
happy.
curve.
That's
The
that-
opposite.
that was
Complete opposite.
Really?
That started your day right.
So I'm going to do this tomorrow, and we will speak. If I am angry,
Guaranteed.
I'm going to fucking angry text both of you and be like, it's the biggest crock of shit. Because I was having the warm shower this morning, and I'm like, I don't know how I could be any happier right now
It wakes you up,
than
though.
the exact opposite of what's happening with. Yeah.
You know, the thing is
That's
though,
what I'm
it's
worried
like
about. You know what? I love adrenaline stuff, but I'm scared. I'm genuinely scared. I'll bungee jump, I'll skydive,
Get
whatever the fuck.
uncomfortable.
But
you're not
for
going to
the-
go on an ice bath.
for the cold water. No, I do an ice bath too. I was thinking about that too.
but you
I
want
would
cold,
totally
cold
do that
shower.
because it's like under my control, like the tap.
But so
Whereas
is
you
an
just
ice
fucking
bath.
jump in. Yeah, but you just jump in. I'm like,
But you
fuck
can
it, I'm
get
in
out.
now. Yeah,
You
but
run
you can
all-
just like I can suppress myself and just like,
Yeah,
don't
true.
move. I'm terrified. I don't know.
I think the thing is too, it's like as soon as you get in there, this is with ice bath or a cold shower, like your mind, as soon as you feel that instant cold, your
You
mind's
panic a
like
bit?
ready to go, like get out,
Does it
get out.
stop? Once you,
You
do
have
it a bit?
to you have to control it, and just as soon as I get in there, all I think about is like just and then just breathe.
This is the thing,
don't wanna start
right?
my
The
day
best
that
thing
way.
about it, it's a form of meditation.
Okay,
Like it is,
yeah.
you are thinking about your breath.
I
It's
feel
a
you.
form
Yeah.
of like breath work for me.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
more importantly, I think we spoke about this today, and Georgia said, "Kayla, you having a cold shower today?" And I said, "You know what? I need to get back into the cold showers. I've been a little bit rusty with that. I haven't been doing it.
So you do find though over time you stray away.
It's
from
also
it,
meant to be
yeah?
good for your immunity.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be really
Improve
good
your
for everything.
improve your immune system.
They did comparisons to the release of adrenaline and dopamine when you do cocaine and cold showers.
Oh, really?
So the cold showers
Well, that's
is
cheaper.
slightly more and lasts longer. So it's a slow release over the whole day. And it's not
That's a
$250
lot
a
cheaper.
bag.
It's also
cheap.
it's a lot more in my budget as well.
Oh, apparently Hashi did cold showers when he had sleep anxiety.
yes,
there you go.
100%.
Yeah, it's really good
Wow.
for sleep. It's actually really good for sleep.
Wow, I did not know this. All right, I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning too much already. We haven't even started
Even
with the questions.
like going from, if you're doing an ice bath, going from a sauna to an ice bath.
Yeah.
Like we've done that a couple of times at crew.
Yeah.
Ah,
Going
okay.
from the sauna
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
ice
yeah.
bath, and just I don't even know how to explain it. Like you just feel it's almost euphoric, like how you
Yeah.
You
feel.
sleep so good that night.
Coke.
Yeah.
But interesting.
Again.
Without the sleep part, you don't sleep.
Interesting though, that is literally how Georgia and I met. So
Yeah.
Georgia and I met through actually
Just lift it.
being.
I'll get a towel. Keep going though. Keep going.
So
Sorry.
Actually, no.
She's
go.
ruined
you keep
the
going
already.
And I
Let me
will
grab
grab
a
a
towel.
towel. No, you gotta stay on. She's talking to you. Go.
So Georgia and I met through actually being gym buddies in the shower. So I found that it was really great to have somebody to talk to every single day and literally let go of any all my thoughts and feelings for the day.
Absolutely. And it was just funny, like we'd arrive at different times, but finish our workout the exact same time. I think it was like 7.
It ended up being our
7
routine.
Yeah, 7:15, 7:20 every morning. We'd walk into the gym,
Yeah.
bathroom, get changed, debrief on the week.
That was
debrief
what
the
it
day
was.
before.
I actually remember Georgia told me that she had a coach, and I was like, oh, I thought I was going to get you on the Like a Girl program. But little did I know, she was in the middle of competing. She was in the middle of a prep. And then I was like, I think you're going to be one of my new best mates because we just had so much in common. We just clicked.
And how long ago was that?
This was about a year ago, I'd say.
Yeah.
So it's still a young, blossoming friendship. I like it.
Yeah.
It's still early days.
And we even speak about this all the time in regard to like friendships of, you know, just because you've been friends with someone for 20 years doesn't mean you should remain friends with them.
I agree. Yep.
Because, I mean, I feel like I can have a way better conversation with Georgia, who I met 12 months ago.
Yep.
Every time I have a conversation with her, I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
this is good. She is my people. Like,
Yeah.
she is someone I connect with, and I just have a great chat with her every single time I see her. And literally, like, every time we do hang out, like, it's great. And I feel like we've actually become really good friends from it, just by purely from the gym, because
Yeah.
it's,
It's
you
that
know,
common
we've
value
come to that.
Yeah.
between the two
exactly.
of
The
you.
common ground.
And
I
you
think we
find-
think the same too.
Yeah.
We value the same things. We think the same. We're on
Yeah.
the same page with a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's why
Especially
a lot of
prep.
people with like footy clubs and like sports and certain hobbies, you end up closer with those people because it's like, it's almost like you're not the same person, but you end up having a lot of similar core
Yeah,
values
exactly.
and a lot of things cross over.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. I can't believe I thought it was longer than a year.
No.
You guys seem a lot closer than that.
No, see,
From like an
exactly.
outsider,
Time,
yeah.
it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But I guess look, we're gonna hit you with the questions.
Let's go.
Because we have we're doing all right for time. If you ever need to know the time, it's literally just up there.
I can't even see that.
But that's fine. It's just so she knows the timing. As this is a dating and relationships podcast, everyone wants to know: are you single and ready to mingle? Yay or nay?
Single and ready to mingle. Absolutely.
Oh, very, very, very cool. So we'll alternate questions. You take the second one.
So she's ready to mingle.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I want you
yeah.
to sum up your dating world, your dating life in 4 words.
Oofed.
That's one.
That's one. Oofed. Non-existent.
That's 3. One more.
Dead.
Jesus.
How much better could you get?
That's so fucking grim, dude.
That sounds like it's so boring. Did I just knock that?
No, you're fine. You're gonna be paranoid about it the whole podcast.
yeah,
to
I
everyone
know.
listening, that
Maybe I
you guys
just-
handled yourselves with absolute grace and you kept talking. And I listened back to it. I think it was fine.
True naturals, I think.
But yeah, you soaked. That's the second time. That's entire
She's a
area
bit
is going to be
clumsy.
soaked.
Soaked.
I'll get like a little thing for people's drinks. So do you think it's like dried up your dating life because you're kind of not in the headspace to date, or do you feel like the dudes you kind of circulate around might be making that worse than it should be?
I think so. I think.
Do you think it's the guys?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think it's a bit of both too now. Just previous situations that I've been in, probably haven't attracted the right guys.
Okay.
But
How
now,
old- if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
how old am I?
Yeah.
28.
That's okay. Yeah, you're in that spot now. I think you know, kind of, you start to figure out the people that you should be
For sure.
dating and
Yeah.
stuff.
For sure.
And that might be why it's non-existent. I think you're like,
I would
Yeah.
say it's non-existent because you kind of have just come out of a relationship in a way.
Ish.
oh,
Like, how long has it been since Georgia's been single?
this is breaking news.
It's breaking news. Nah, probably like 2 months.
Fuck, man.
2 months, 2.5 months.
That's why. She has not been dating
And
because
how long
she's
was
been-
the relationship for?
It wasn't even a relationship.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
just, it was.
But how long was it a
it was a
situationship
thing.
for? Yeah,
12 months.
yeah.
I thought
okay.
it was long. No, well, obviously not because we only
Yeah.
met each other 12 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a little bit. No, we'd met before I started seeing.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to hear all about him in the bathroom when we
Yeah.
were getting ready in the morning.
We bitched nonstop about him. No,
Aw.
I'm joking.
I'm sure it was all fucking rainbows and sunshine.
Oh,
Absolutely.
All right, so I guess you're kind of at that point now where you probably still got a little bit of it's that emotional grieving at the end of it. Like you're kind of over it and thinking. So, mate, 2 months is nothing.
Yeah.
She's ready to
It's
get
still,
back on the horse.
it's still fresh. But I think just with where I'm at the moment, like I've got a lot going on in my life, like prep. I started a new job, so everything's like quite full on at the moment.
Yeah,
And,
competing is going to take up heaps.
Oh
And
my
it's kind of
God.
hard to date while you.
oh my
prepping
god,
for
You
comp too.
actually thrive being single in a comp prep.
Because
Like,
it's super
Oh my
selfish.
goodness,
Like you
I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
yeah.
I am not getting a boyfriend in the next 12 months because
you know the thing is though, it's like
I'm sticking to the prep.
your life becomes you can't really socialize with people either. Like
It
you
makes it
can't
real hard.
you can't go out for
yeah.
drinks, you can't go out to eat. Like
Yeah, true.
you have to
yeah.
make sure your steps are done. So it's like if you're
Yeah.
going on a date, it's literally a walk and a coffee
Yeah.
while you sit
Which
there with
isn't
your like
bad.
containers and eat, which
Yeah.
is not bad, but like
One of my best friends.
it's
this
so
is
boring. you know
So
what I mean?
competing, why don't
when,
you?
when my mate was competing, Minos, I miss you. Call me. We went to Akon, his concert, and he brought food in foil in his pockets and shit.
That's
and
literally
was
what I
eating
do.
during the concert. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
I
I'm
think
going
it's
to do that.
adorable.
I am not doing that
There was a
year.
couple events that I went to last year, and I would have like a little esky sitting in my car, and so many times my sister would be with me, and she'd just come out to the car, sit there, and I just eat
Yeah.
my container, eat out of my container, and then go back to the event like nothing happened.
That's really good though. I think that's the perfect
You gotta
balance.
do
You can
it.
do that. Because for someone like me who would still want to go to the stuff,
Mm.
because I think we're like opposites like this. Like you're just like, I'm just not going to go. And for me, I'm like, I can't do this.
No, I think it
So
takes
how
a
would you
certain
manage it then?
person. Well, I think I'm a lot more educated about nutrition now.
Oh,
and
right,
I
true.
would
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
plan for that occasion.
Yeah. So you just do
I wouldn't
non-stop
bring
cocaine and just be fine, right?
No, I'm not.
What are you saying?
Sorry. We don't condone taking drugs.
or even platitudes sometimes. I just like throwing curveballs because you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Where does that come from?
Yeah.
No, so like I don't know. I reckon with that, I would just allow. I'd be like, I'm going out for this night. I
Mm.
would talk to my coach and say, hey, I've got this event coming up. Let's work around it. I'm not going to sit there and eat a meal out of a container.
Is this you in prep or is this out of prep?
This depends on how far into prep I am.
Yeah.
Like if I'm a few weeks out, well then obviously
You probably
I would
wouldn't go?
I would no. I this also depends.
Yep.
How low my calories are and how I would have to.
I think it makes a difference to
accommodate.
someone that know like if like I know how to track my food and I know like what I'm eating and what I'm consuming, but like you're a lot more educated in it than I am. So like I couldn't go to an event and just like pick some food that was at the event and then just eat that and be
No,
fine
you'd be
with it.
fucked. Yeah.
Nah, I have to bring like pre-organize myself.
And that's George's dating life in 4. It's
Non-existent
Next
and
question.
dead.
Non-existent, dead.
Next question is someone's jumped into the document. That's interesting.
Green flags. Let's go.
Yeah. So what's 2 of your top green flags for a dude?
One that really sticks out, I think, is how self-aware they are.
Ooh.
How
That's
self-aware.
a different one. We haven't had that one yet.
Yeah.
I like that.
if they know how their actions and what they're doing affects the people around them,
So that's EQ, so the emotional intelligence.
100%.
Mhm.
And also what their relationship is like with their family, with their parents.
See, I told you everyone says
Everyone
that.
says this because
Yes.
this must be
It's a
the
big
number
thing with
one,
girls.
the number
Yeah.
one green flag, like the number
Yeah.
one common theme.
You notice a massive difference with like I've dated a couple of guys that have been really close with their family, and you can tell the difference in how they treat people as opposed to someone that's not close with their family or like comes from
True.
like a one parent.
Very true.
that is
type of-
exactly what we spoke about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
And it's not just Kayla. It was Steph. It was Amy. It was Shay. It's literally every guest, probably bar Bella. I have to check and see if that, but it seems like that's a common thread. So dudes,
Yeah.
listening to the podcast, fix up the home relationships and it'll reap
We
the
spoke
benefits.
about that because I think as well, if you have a good relationship with your parents or you can see that they have a good relationship with their parents, it's more than likely they know how to love. So they can demonstrate that sensitive side.
Give
They
and receive it as well.
They respect someone. They know how to love somebody.
It's just so wild that like I think because trying to look at it from a dude's perspective, like the green flags and red flags
a different.
they're so one dimensional.
What would you say as a
what's
guy's
it-
perspective? What's the
Oh,
top 2
shit.
green flags?
You know, no one's ever asked me that question. Thank you very much. So the top green flags for me is usually how warm they are. So like obviously once you get past that that initial awkwardness is their ability to become warm, because like a lot of
Do you mean
Like
their,
their character.
in terms of like
yeah, I
the
can
way that
explain
they
it for you if you let me
speak?
finish. I'm kidding.
If you actually just let me talk.
Yeah, if you let me finish, I can tell you. Is it like a lot of girls will have that cold, like it's almost like you're not even when you first meet someone, and it's a bit awkward and whatever. It's very standoffish. A big thing for me is girls that are very like warm, and they'll make you almost feel like that they're doing their part to calm the energy in the room.
Yeah.
Like a big thing is you just, especially I think with my personality type, it's really fucking draining feeling like I have to make sure that everything's okay and that she's comfortable, and that it's so awesome to be sitting down with someone and be like, she totally knows how to control her own space. She's
Yeah.
comfortable. She's trying to make me feel comfortable. Like,
Do you think a lot of guys feel like that, or is that
no, it's just a weird
Okay.
me thing.
Yeah.
You're like, can this help me at all? No, it can't.
What advice can you give me?
And I think, like I said before, good energy is massive
Yeah.
for me, and a great outlook. Being a little bit negative myself, I need that counterbalance. I need someone that's like super positive. Yeah.
Are you a bit of a Debbie Downer?
No, it's like the wog in me. It's like
Okay.
we're always a bit like things are good, but they're not amazing always. You'll see, you'll notice. You'll be
Yeah.
like it's part of the humor, I guess.
Yeah.
But for you, red flags.
Red
top two.
flags. Probably someone that hides you from their
That's
friends.
huge. That's massive.
Massive.
Yeah.
Hide you from their friends, hide you from their family. I think especially friends, because you get to know more about a person when
Their
you see the
mates.
type of people that they're hanging around.
How do you guys feel about dudes with a lot of female friends?
I'm just gonna jump right in.
Yeah.
I think
it was open.
I think that guys can't generally have like a platonic relationship with women.
Interesting. Yep.
Yeah, I just think that if they are best friends with women, I think
Yeah.
that at the back of their head, there's some hope that they're going to sleep with them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I generally believe
Kayla?
that.
Yes and no. I think you're definitely right to some degree.
Yeah,
but
for
I mean,
sure.
I've got depends, I guess, in the kind of sense where they work as well. Like
Mhm.
I work in a faculty of males. Like I
Yeah.
work like as a PE teacher. Like
Yeah, it's
I
a boys'
work
club.
I
Yeah.
work in an environment of like dudes, and we're like great mates.
Yeah.
Like I would never go there with any of them.
Yep.
That's not to say that like you can't be friendly and stuff with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think women can be friends with men, but men can't have a platonic relationship with women. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? What I'm trying to say?
I get what you're saying, and it is that
It's
is the
easy for
case for a lot of kind of the more basic, I guess, relationships, right?
Yeah.
But there is like one of my best friends
Yeah.
is female.
Yeah.
And what happens is, I guess, you can really test the friendship between, say, you're dating someone, they have a male and female friend, is if when they date someone, when the girl dates someone, if they stop talking, if the relationship stays connected
Yes.
Yeah.
while they're dating someone, it's a true and honest friendship.
Yeah.
And then, because I've had multiple times, like with girlfriends, her name's Elle, and they're like, oh, I don't know, like she's gorgeous by like the metric or whatever. I said, look, man, Elle's been here before you. She'll probably be here after you. Like, she's really important to me. If that's a problem, this probably isn't going to
This
work
isn't
because it's a
gonna work.
mixed value.
Have you found that women that you've dated have been jealous?
They're all good because then they meet Elle and they
love
understand.
her.
And
Yeah, right.
yeah, because there's no vibes there. Like,
That's a different thing too. It's just like if
Yeah.
you're very open about it and
Yeah.
you're introducing your partner to them.
yeah, like I have attractive
sure.
male friends. It's like, well, what, I'm going to try and suck his dick at some point. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Because it's the same. It's the same thing. Look, they are spunky men, but you know.
Well, I mean, I've got a friend also, same same dynamic.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
started dating. Sorry, one of my girlfriends has a best mate that's a guy as well, and they were friends from being in the army. So
Okay, yeah.
they had a very close relationship, and then I became friends with the guy. What?
I'm glad you got it as well. Good.
Yeah. I know. It's,
You're like, they're in the army. It's all right.
As soon as that's an eye roll. As soon as you hear that.
so anyway,
How many times did they fuck? Just once?
probably not.
Just once. That's it. Just put it in my ass once.
I'm just. It's not a proper relationship if it's just anal. Okay,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
fine.
here we go. The main thing is,
Yes.
every time this guy dated a girl, he'd be like, he'd be like, you need to get along with my friend
Yeah,
Najat.
'cause it's
Like
important,
otherwise,
yeah.
it's not going to work otherwise.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think that like for me, if a guy that I was dating had like a really close girlfriend and he said that from the day dot, he's like, look,
Yeah.
this is my really close friend. We're great friends. I'd be like, well, I hope I like it.
Yeah.
Because that's me though. I'm fine with stuff
but
like that.
that's important too, I guess, because as the partner, she'd be able to say, the vibes I'm getting from your mate is that they can't fucking stand me. And then that's important too, because your best friend, even though it's the opposite sex, can still be jealous of the dynamic.
For sure.
So, and your best mate shouldn't be fucking with that at all. I was trying my best not to burp in the microphone. I think it's going to go
I
away.
did that before too.
All right, you're on number 4.
All right. What is your shortest and longest relationship?
Shortest, I think, would be 6 or 7 months.
Wow. Okay.
And then longest, probably, I think maybe 2 years. It's not
Okay.
that long.
Yeah,
but
yeah. No real like super long ones.
No,
But that's look, man. You just know what you know.
that's it.
So-
How long ago was the 2 year?
Yeah.
That ended in what are we in now? 2023. End of 2021.
Okay. With your relationships, do you feel like you have lots of kind of okay-ish in terms of the seriousness of the relationship, or are the shorter ones kind of like a little bit, and they just kind of
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it tends to be me that kind of gets sick of the person that I'm with.
It's honestly, man, like with most things that I'm learning now through this podcast, is like the girls are kind of like the emotional arbiters of a relationship. So they'll be like, dude, this is not working. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna end
feel
it.
like
And
Sorry.
guys always, we get our hearts broken, which is, it's funny, but it's kind of
Or
our
they're the
stupid.
cowards.
Well, no, but, I like to think of it as like we're always in to like try and fix it and try and push it.
But I think
as
guys
much as it
do
can
the
go.
bare minimum and think they can get away with it and think that that's enough to keep a relationship.
Look, it has happened in the past.
Yeah.
You're not
Guys get
wrong,
comfortable.
but I think girls do it too.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it happens on
For
both ends,
sure.
but yeah, definitely. I'm not gonna.
Do you know what my opinion
yeah.
is? So guys get really comfortable and they're okay with comfortable, and girls go, oh, I'm not okay with comfortable. Like it gets stagnant and
Yeah.
they're like, nah. Whereas a guy will be in a comfortable situation and be like,
Mm.
oh, well, like this is okay. Whereas we're like, this is okay, but it's not good. So red flag.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
Let's adjust. Let's
But that's
readjust
terrifying
this.
as a guy. You're like, but it's good. Why is it bad? And it's
Yeah.
like, it is a thing, I guess, that I've tried to be more mindful of as I've gotten older. That you do need to like be vigilant, because it is true, especially in like high stress jobs and stuff. You are looking for the relationship to be that stabilizing force,
For sure.
but you don't let it completely slip and be like, it's fine. I'm just going to come out
Well-
and chill out and do fucking nothing. You still need to put effort in, like everything, right? What were you gonna say?
I was going to say another observation I've come to realize
Mm.
is a girl will sit on it for a really long time.
Oh, yeah.
will she just?
So like FYI,
I'm glad I can look at you
if
from the
you're- if you're getting vibes from your partner, like
Yeah.
males in the room and or females,
Mm.
if they are a little bit standoffish and they're not feeling a bit right, like they're sitting on it, that they're probably going to break up with you. And I reckon a girl will think about breaking up with their partner for 3 to 6 months before they
Yeah.
Do
actually
you know
do
what's
it.
funny? Like
They sit on it. They
Yeah.
sit on it.
the last guy that I saw, I could almost pinpoint exactly when I felt like an energy shift. Like there was one night that I was at his and just something was off.
Ooh.
Something felt completely different. I was like, at the time I didn't know what it was. And
Yeah.
I was like, something is different about like the
Yeah.
energy. And then from then on out, I reckon it would have been 4, maybe 5 months that I sat on it. And I was like, it just progressively got like, I think once the thought comes to your head too, just like it's all downhill from
Well,
there.
because you're never going to be like, yeah,
Literally.
look, it takes a sociopath to be like, oh, okay, goodbye, and then to instantly end the
Yeah.
relationship. You want to
You wanna be
see
sure, too.
if you're in the right mind state, if there's something else that's popped up that's kind of shaping you. But you guys end up like those fucking relationship assassins, because as a dude, you're like, everything's fine,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're like, fucking, it's
And
done.
as women,
And
you overthink
this
things. You're
is
like,
our
am I being a crazy bitch, or
Yeah.
I should probably think about this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, oh yeah.
Or we constantly like, can they not get the hint? Are they dumb or like can they not read the cues?
We expect you to
or-
read our mind too.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they can't.
that's not going to happen.
They're dumb.
Why not?
It is. That's communication is key, and the one thing I love about Amy so fucking much is that like if something's up, we'll just talk about it,
Yeah.
and it's like, look, I can kind of read a bit, but there's
Kudos.
shit that you miss,
Yeah.
and like for me, it's just like I want to get whatever's happened, and then just kind of figure it out, get all the yuck out of the way, fix it, and move forward.
Yeah.
That's how it should be though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess over time, if it happens a lot and stuff, like people just kind of let things go. And it's
Yeah.
almost like if you leave it, then it's kind of a way to get out. And I think a lot of girls do that too, where they're like,
Yeah.
this is going shit. If he doesn't do anything, I can just fucking use this and leave. And it's like,
And
well,
then bank
you're not
it
into
up.
it, so just quit, man.
Bank it up, you know, and then when you,
That's-
it's so bad. Like I've been guilty of doing
Jesus
this before.
Christ.
Like you expect them to know what's on your on your mind, and then you've got like when you let too many things slide, you get 6 months later and you're like, you just end up hating them because it's like they've got all these things that you haven't actually properly
interesting, isn't it?
spoken about.
I've never genuinely hated a partner, bar one.
No, either right. That was
Michelle,
a bit dramatic, but
But it can get to that level. Like,
Yeah.
and that's a big thing. I think because you build resentment.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Um,
Resentment is a huge thing. I know with my ex-partner, I reckon I sat on breaking up with him for about a year.
yeah,
Like that's bad. Like
yeah.
I reckon
How long was that one?
that relationship was like close to 3 years.
Yeah.
And I reckon, no joke, 2 years into that relationship, it was done.
Wow.
And I stuck around for a whole nother year. I was like going to break up with him. When I look
Jesus,
back
yeah.
at when I actually broke up with him, I was like, why didn't I break up with him 12 months earlier?
And you know what's really funny too? It's like, I think within the first 3 months of knowing someone, you know whether it's going to work out long term or
Yeah,
not. Regardless
I
of
knew.
what happens, you just
As
there's
a dude,
something-
every time I've thought that and been like, fuck.
Sometimes you let it go, but it's like you.
I think
both
girls,
women
you guys
and-
have the vibe, whereas with us,
Intuition.
we're like, this feels great.
Well, I think
Yeah.
we think more so. I remember being with him and I'm like, I'm not going to marry this guy.
Yeah.
Like, this is good for now.
Wow.
Sometimes you
Good-
just put
this
your
is
blinkers
good.
on and you're like,
You
no,
pop
we'll
your
just
blinkers
go with it.
Yeah. I was like, the
Okay.
situation is
Yeah.
good. The living arrangement is good.
Mm.
But I'm not going to marry this guy.
Okay.
I'm
Because
better
so I
than
think
him.
as a dude, because we get back in the day, we had a lot more freedom to kind of date and not actually be seeing someone.
Yeah.
So when I dated, every time I would be like, I'm dating this person because I can see marrying them.
yeah.
And I
Oh.
wouldn't be dating them if I didn't think I could marry them.
That's me now.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
me
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I would not even bother being exclusive with someone if I didn't think they're going to be my
Yeah.
long-term partner.
100%.
But I
for
think
sure.
you get to that age now. Like we're probably at
Yeah.
an age. The next relationship that I get into
It's going to be a big
is
one.
the one that
Yeah.
I would assume is the guy I'm going to settle with.
Yes. Yeah.
You'd like to hope so.
We all think it,
Yeah,
but like
fucking oath.
you know, yeah.
But
Anyways,
life's a bitch. All right. So with this one, I'm going to ask this one, but then we're going to have Kayla answer it. So how would your friends describe your ideal partner? Kayla?
so am I starting with this? How
yeah,
how would
you
I
go, and then we can
describe?
cross check.
How would I describe
Yeah, her ideal partner.
George's ideal partner?
Yeah.
Based on, I haven't seen her date many people besides her,
Oh, true.
her
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ex. So this is a little bit tricky.
What vibes do you think she looks for in guys that she would be kind of looking to settle down with?
Someone who is confident
Mhm.
and someone who I think she looks for a guy who's going to put her first, but it doesn't actually work that way for her. So I think she actually ends up attracting the guys that
The douchebags.
the douchebags that don't do
Yes.
right
Spot
by
on.
her.
Spot on.
Okay.
She likes to think she's going to find someone that is going to, you know, put her up top,
Yeah.
but she ends up with the guys who put her last.
Yeah, it's terrible. You don't want that with anything,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
So, Gio, mate, how would you think your friends would describe your ideal partner?
said that
Definitely someone that's into their gym.
Mm.
Definitely someone that's into their
There's a
gym.
question coming up for that too. We asked Kayla last week as well. That's big, yeah.
Someone that's into their gym, someone that's self-aware, like I mentioned before.
Mhm.
I think they would say they're the two biggest ones.
Are you sure there's not one more?
I've got a
that
comment to
You
add.
think they would say?
I've got a comment to add.
If any of them are listening at the moment, they're probably laughing. Like,
They're gonna read my mind. She is looking for an ideal man.
I have a type, you know.
Yeah, everyone has
I
a
like
type,
what I
that's
like.
fine.
She tends to go for African males.
Yeah. I do. I do love my African men. Let me say I do.
Big. I can't be. It might
I
come
can
across
big black
racist.
penises, you like to
yeah,
be-
she likes a big black penis. She loves it.
Guilty as charged.
Nothing wrong with that. And they're good dancers, I hear. So,
They're great dancers.
Are they good in bed too?
well, there's supposed to be a correlation between dancing and banging. So,
You
would
did
assume
say
as much.
this. Yeah, you did say this.
Yeah,
if they're
that's-
good dancers, they're good in bed. Good penis size. Does it-
Most of the time.
Although you know what would suck, because I obviously have like friends.
Mm.
They do say it is quite terrible for their mates that don't have huge dongs, because they don't all have big.
Yeah,
dicks.
of course.
they don't.
Because
of
it's their
course.
human beings and there's variance. And he's like, do you know how bad it is hooking up with a girl and then they just expect a massive dick? And I'm like, well, unlucky, brother.
I don't
What do you
I
do?
don't think women expect that all the time, though.
He goes, I see it in their face every single fucking time.
Aw.
And
They're
he's not
disappointment.
a small lad, but like, it's not like porn big. Do you know what I mean?
No woman
There's-
likes that, though. Let me tell you.
Too
No
big is
woman,
not good.
No
And that's-
woman likes porn
When we were
big.
talking about like the fetishized stuff,
Yeah.
I think like the places we used to go out and whatnot, I think that happens, and you would see it because you would see, and it's like, and he would say, he goes, look, they're hunting me, and we're like, what? And then you'd see like the chicks that are into black dudes like circle, man.
Oh, bless.
It's fucking like, and he's like, I'll be back, and I'm like,
I'll be
"All
back.
right,
Let me
man."
just take care of this.
Yeah, good on him.
That's so funny.
Alrighty,
So
so
funny.
what
All right.
are we up to? Number
7.
stuff. This is you, my friend.
All right. Tell us a bit about one of the best dates you have been on and why it was considered the best.
Ooh. I think we were having this conversation a couple of weeks ago. Like, I feel like guys don't put that much effort into dates.
She said that for hers too. Yeah.
Well, because
But
I
the
was
one-
shocked, man. Like,
Yeah.
this.
There's one date that I have been on that like he did go to some effort, and it was I was in Sydney.
Yep.
And
There's your first mistake.
right.
No, I'm not even kidding. My
No, he
ex
was
from
actually.
Sydney.
Oh, really?
Was this
Yeah.
was this the ex partner?
No. He was. This was just like a one date type thing.
Perfect.
But he was lovely. But he basically picked me up, and then we went to. I can't remember what it was. It was like a national park, and it had this massive like river in it. Anyway,
Yeah.
he hired these little like canoe boats. And we
That's
went-
effort.
Yeah, absolutely. And then went for a little canoe boat, and then he came back and organised like this full picnic for us. For
That
a
is
date.
sick.
Fucking, that's like
That
you
is
were
a
on The
great-
Bachelor, man.
Yeah, it was
That's what
great
that
date.
was.
It was
Good
actually
on
really
him.
good. It was actually he went to a lot of effort, but it was
He's a piece
one-
of shit and never spoke to him
But he was
again.
an absolute fucking weird. Nah, nah, he wasn't. Nah, he was actually lovely. Really
Was he a
lovely.
gym bro?
What was wrong with him? Why didn't it
No.
work out?
Okay, keep note of that, maybe. Because I was
What?
going to say, do you think maybe there's a correlation between gym bros and no effort for dating? I'm just saying.
Possibly. I don't know. There was
Maybe.
just something about him, I think, that was a little bit, I don't want to sound like a bitch, but it's like
No.
cringy. It's like there were certain
Yeah.
things he would say or certain things like,
Yeah. He's not your person.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was just like
100%.
a bit cringy.
Yeah, and look,
Bless
that's
him though. He'll make someone happy.
great date ethic, but fucking weird as all shit.
Yeah, just a
yeah.
little bit, just a
Just
little bit
too
strange. Just cringe,
I
yeah.
feel like that's
Like
big for you. You've said that quite a lot today. Like, I just don't want to be cringe.
literally,
We can't
when
be
we do this
cringe.
podcast,
There's-
I don't want to be cringe.
Don't want to be cringe.
Be
I'm
less
just surprised that there's so many dudes that aren't putting effort into, because like you don't even need to do like a lot. I think just something that feels somewhat personal.
We haven't
And thoughtful, like
Mm.
that. With that, it's not. It wasn't huge, but I know he went to the effort to kind of organize it.
Yep.
Rather, as opposed to like going for dinner and drinks. Like,
bit of forward planning.
Yeah.
And something unique, something different. Like that's what I mean. We spoke about this and I said I couldn't answer the question because I had to think that hard about my best date, which
Yeah.
goes to show that the dates I have been on,
Yeah.
pretty damn average.
But you think if it was a dinner and the conversation was fucking like awesome and it was
That matters.
vibing and you kind of moved around a bit, so you had like lunch somewhere and then you fucked off somewhere else and like it
Yeah.
didn't necessarily, they weren't these big things that you had to book weeks in advance.
No,
but
No.
and that's exactly what I
do you
said
feel like
too.
maybe if you're being led
I
kind
think
of a
the
bit on
best date-
an experience?
for sure.
The best date is the date that you have the chemistry with and the connection with and great chats.
Yeah.
And you're just
Because
willing
when
to
you
be
mentioned
there.
it, I got really paranoid. I'm like, fucking, I just took Amy to Roasting Warehouse.
Yeah.
And then we came back because it was kind of COVID-y. Everything was opening a
But
little
that doesn't.
bit.
I
But
was going to say it doesn't matter where you take me.
Yeah.
I just think your personality needs to be pretty good.
Yeah.
If it's good conversation and
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
That's
connecting,
actually, you know what? That's a good point. If your personality is not the strongest thing in the world, your date game needs to lift.
100%.
So,
Yes.
if you can't
Yeah.
chat, do more.
Do.
Yeah.
And exactly. If
Yeah.
you feel like you're going to be awkward, because remember when I spoke about this, I went on a date with someone and it was so he couldn't talk. He was
Yeah.
a mute.
Oh, bless. That's
But-
funny. My sister was telling me that she went on a date, not yesterday, the day before. And she met him on Hinge, and the whole time he just spoke about himself and about his manager at work or something and how
Oh my
obsessed
God.
he was with her. And
Whoa, really?
Yeah, she's like, you've literally brought me on a date. You haven't even asked how my day was or how my week was, but
Holy
all I've heard about
shit.
is you and how obsessed you are with
Did she
this
actually
fucking.
call him out? That would have been fantastic.
I don't even.
I wish
don't know.
she
yeah.
did. That
She
would
probably
be
did,
fucking-
knowing her.
Is she a savage?
She's a
I like
savage,
it.
absolute savage.
Stone cold killer. All right, we're up to number 8.
Sorry, just quickly before we continue, can
Yes.
we get that aircon maybe down?
Yeah, mate, I can turn it off.
Oh, I'm like shivering.
Because it was a
Thank
hot
you.
box when we got in here. Okay, so is it me or you?
Oh, I can take this one.
Go.
When do you feel is the right time to bridge the gap from casual dating to exclusive with somebody?
Do you have an indicator? Or you just kind of feel it out?
Like, when do you think it's right to pretty much call them your boyfriend?
I think it depends on how like fast you move, or like I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. So when, say you think it's moving fast, right? Is there a point where you're like, oh, okay.
He's my
I
boyfriend
think
now.
Yeah,
by,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
by about 3 or 4 months. I
Do you
think
think
is a good.
time?
Yeah.
Do you think it's determined by time?
You can. That's the thing is like,
It
don't doubt yourself. You can
depends.
use a lot of people use time as an indicator. You're like, I've been fucking seeing this person for forever.
It depends on how intense you are, how
Yeah.
close you become, the connection that you guys have. I think it depends on
Yeah.
a lot of different things, but I would say 3 to 4 months, because like I said before, you generally know like within the first couple of even dates whether
Yes.
it's going to
Mm.
progress to something.
This
you know,
is why I think rather than time as a measure or as an indicator, I would say a really good sign that they are probably thinking more serious about you is if they're going to if you've been introduced to their family or their parents.
Yeah.
Pretty strong sign.
just say that a bit louder, Kayla. Just say that a little bit louder.
So if you've introduced me to your parents, you're probably my boyfriend.
Please explain.
Like, you're
Right.
probably my
Right.
boyfriend. If I am introducing you
yeah.
to
Okay,
my
yeah.
to my family, you're my boyfriend. Because I've said
I feel like there's some
100%.
subtext here. You guys are being very subtle, but can you explain the subtext to what's going on?
All right.
Yeah,
can
do
I
it.
Can I delve into this?
Go for it.
Okay. So I'll talk about how this is important because I know for, like both of us, right? I guess we've come to a point in our lives. You're not just bringing and introducing anyone to your family at
Yes.
this point. Like,
No.
like I've got nephews and stuff. So if I'm introducing a boy to my family,
Yeah.
like my nephews are going to be calling them uncle blah blah.
Yeah.
And so I don't want that over multiple times. But the main reason
It happens a few times.
the
just
main
saying.
reason that we're talking about this right now
Yeah.
is because I feel like we had a recent episode where Georgia realized she
Yes.
definitely was not anything serious to this guy
Yeah.
because they were, for the whole year of being together, barely introduced. Like, I reckon you met the parents once or twice, a
not even.
handful of times.
Not even.
Not
Was
even
it
a
like
handful
in
of times.
passing? It wasn't like a proper thing.
No family.
Yeah.
But yeah, one friend, maybe 2 friends in passing.
So not
shit.
even
Yeah,
so
yeah.
a year together and not even never hung out with him and his
Yeah.
friends. Never went to his house.
Oh.
Never introduced they obviously he didn't
Other
live
way
with his
around.
parents. Sorry.
Let
Let me get my facts
Hang
right.
on.
Hang on,
Maybe
Kayla,
not.
Kayla.
Let me
just
get my,
fill you in.
let me get my facts right.
Cliff note 4,
in
please.
summary, barely any contact with the family.
Yeah.
Like never really associated with the family.
Fuck, man.
Yeah. Other way around. Like I put in so much effort,
Yeah.
and effort's not reciprocated.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, it comes
Didn't
down.
want to be a part of your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's not probably. It's definitely my fault. Like, you know,
Yes,
you put your
look.
blinkers on when you
Don't ever apologize for wanting to be in a good relationship with someone that you
definitely
feel
not
like
definitely
you
not
connect with.
apologizing.
Yeah.
Definitely not apologizing.
No, but like it's that thing where you feel like a bit of a fuckwit. You're like, why did I do that? When you see it later, and you're like,
Hindsight.
that didn't
Yeah.
make sense. But it's like, no, when you were fucking there, like you felt a certain way,
yeah.
and then like there was a little bit given to make you feel comfortable, and then we get excited.
You
We run with
breadcrumbed.
things, man.
You
Yeah.
breadcrumb. And
it-
enough to keep you coming.
and
And,
as-
then
literally, and
Yeah.
it's like, as,
let me tell you.
that's the thing with girls. But that's what I mean too, right? Like we call it like dick drunk. It's like
yeah.
you literally,
Dickmatized. That's what it's called. Dickmatized.
Dickmatized.
yeah. And pussy paralysis as well happens to do
Yeah.
sex.
Same thing.
You definitely see a dynamic shift if the sex is really good, and then it's
Yes.
like it can get a bit awkward because you're like it's happened on casual dates,
Mm,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
yeah.
we're not going to date, but I know that she's really excited now, and it's like not that. So you try and dial that back, but then you want to have sex.
Mm.
So, but then you're in an awkward position where you're like,
And then when
I
it's
can't
great
half
sex,
fuck you properly, like
yeah. And then
So
when it's
you,
great
hang
sex,
on,
you get,
hang on a minute. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need to delve into this.
yes.
You're trying to say if you don't feel it with someone,
Mm.
you then try and make the sex
No,
worse.
I'm saying you can't. Like it's hard. You
Oh,
can't
I
do
was
that.
gonna say.
Yeah, like you start with the intentions of like if you're hanging out and it's casual, like you're like, okay, we'll see if we can kind of navigate the space to where it's not as intense or good as it is to cause that, and fucking you have sex. It's just, you know what I mean? You can't be that calculated.
but it's.
No.
I
I've
think.
tried to not do that,
I think for
but
women,
it just gets awkward.
I think for women, you can't just casually have sex with someone. It comes to a certain point where
Yes.
women inevitably catch feelings. Like I
It's
think
both, man. I think, yeah.
Yeah,
After
true.
'cause as it goes on longer,
it's
Yeah.
easier for women though. Like I
Yeah.
think when you're sleeping with someone at least like 4 or 5 times,
Yeah.
women already.
I
women
think
already like you.
depending
Yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
circumstance. So like I feel like when I meet somebody and I have sex with them for the first time,
Yeah.
like if it's been established early on that they are not looking for anything serious and it's strictly casual, I am really good at like I am very good at not catching feelings
yeah.
if it's established early.
Yeah, for
So you
sure.
can
But if they
compartmentalize
are-
it if you give it
Yeah,
enough.
yeah. I can definitely switch between like, okay,
Yeah.
you cannot catch feelings for this person,
Yeah.
and you won't catch feelings for this person.
Okay.
If it's said
Because you
very
know-
early on.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
know. But I think as well, if that is not established early on and they're giving you the vibes that they're interested in emotionally investing into you,
Yes.
and then they're all of a sudden like gaslighting you in terms of, no, I told you I didn't want anything serious. It's like, well, why are you
Yeah.
acting like you're my boyfriend?
And why are you saying certain things to me that's going to make me feel like you want more
It's
than...
difficult.
Yeah.
Like I'd like to think that people don't say shit in the moment to
Oh.
like trick people into fucking them.
No, they don't.
But sometimes
They're
I think
confused.
you get excited and you really want to fuck, so you say what you kind of feel in the moment, but it might not be like 100% like
Because it feels right in
kind
the
of-
moment.
yeah. And it, I guess I think everyone's. I reckon most people kind of fall into those situations where you're like, we're not going to date, but then like it's good, and it is actually like the emotions are charged.
Mm.
But I think if it's a repeat offense, and
I
you
was
keep
gonna
doing
say,
it,
100%. Like
you know.
I remember I was literally sleeping with a guy for 2 years casually before it was like, dude, you can't say that this is not. This is not.
that's crazy.
You
5
can't
years
say
down
you
the
haven't
track,
caught feelings for
surely.
me.
Fucking
You have
hell,
feelings for
man.
me 100%. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's
Yeah.
like
That is okay. So,
inevitably you
what
will.
is the longest casual relationship you've ever had?
Oh, probably 4 years.
Fucking hell!
yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it was.
That's a long time.
That's-
It is.
yeah.
That went on and
It's longer
on and
than
off,
most
on
of your
and off.
relationships, man.
Yeah, it's literally longer.
She's
Literally.
a good casual
Oh my God, this is the
dater.
first time I'm clicking about that.
Guys like casual date, man.
Yeah.
But that was on and off as well. So it was like
Yeah.
on for a year, off for 4 months,
Okay.
on for a year, on for another 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bless.
Where are we at now? Number 9. Oh, yep. All right. So actually, it kind of fits all right. So, what's the quickest that you've ever kind of escalated a relationship, or the longest you've made someone wait for having sex for the first time?
Ooh.
Ooh.
You can go quickest if you want. Whatever's more comfortable for you.
Quickest. Well, I've had a one night stand before, so that's probably that would
Oh.
definitely be the quickest.
Yep. So, did I skip something? No, we're good. So, I guess curiosity's sake, was it like a long-ish date, or was it just dinner and then bang, see you later?
Yeah, it was like dinner.
Wow,
Yeah.
Jesus, well done.
Yeah. But like we'd been talking for a few weeks beforehand. Before
Okay.
we actually
Yeah,
before we
yeah.
actually
Mm.
went and had dinner.
Yep. And the longest. you
the longest I've
someone
made
wait?
someone wait,
Yes.
2 months.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Why?
Just to see if I could.
Oh my
Is that
God.
cruel?
It's fucking
But how did you
savage.
last? That-
There's, she's probably sleeping with other dudes. True?
No, not at the time.
Wow.
Yeah, not at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
I'm
I can't
impressed.
do that.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
okay. I was looking at it
yeah.
from the dude perspective. That's, man.
Maybe
2
just shy
months.
of 2 months.
Do you know what the average
Yeah, go.
meeting someone
only
to
ever done
sleeping
that
with someone?
once.
7 to 10 hours.
Mm.
So that's like cumulative dates and like hanging out and whatever.
I heard
7
something like
to
this
10
the
hours.
other day.
Yeah, it's the average literally like that it
Question
takes most
for
people
you.
to fuck.
I have
Yeah.
a question for you.
Yes.
Okay, so sleeping with somebody on the first date, does that make or break whether you perceive them as someone you date or not?
For me, no. But I know heaps of dudes that if that happens, it very rarely becomes a relationship. For me, I know if that happens, it's purely because of usually the situation and the chemistry.
Yeah.
But a big thing for me, honestly, which is weird, is if I get approached, I'm on the back foot instantaneously. So if someone comes up to me and starts talking to me,
You've got
I'm
an
just-
ick a bit.
yeah, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like, why?
That's interesting.
So yeah. As opposed to, I guess,
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
yeah, no, it doesn't. Honestly, the speed of
Do you know what I mean? 'Cause I
which
feel
we
like-
fuck does nothing.
Yeah, I
to-
was gonna say I don't think because I don't intend to ever sleep with somebody on the first date. But if
Yeah.
I feel like the chemistry's there,
Yeah, I think you shouldn't.
I'm not gonna not sleep with them on the first
I'm
date
a
because
big
it's the
fan
first date.
of
Yeah,
not using
100%.
sex as currency.
Yeah,
Like, oh, you've done just enough. Here's your reward. Here's some puss. Like,
I agree.
It's
Yeah.
not
No,
like
it's like if you're in the moment,
Yeah.
and you're like, crap, it's a first date, but I'm really
It's
vibing
fine,
this, and this
man.
is great.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting there going, oh, but it's the first date. I'm gonna
Yeah.
wait. I'm just like,
you.
If
oh,
it
well,
happens,
like,
it
feels
happens and it
right.
works.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Like,
Yeah. If
so be
if
it.
you do have a gut feeling that you shouldn't fuck them straight away because of whatever it is,
yeah,
that's probably good intuition. But shit, man, like life's too short. We could get locked up for 2 years, man. Like trying to date through that was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
I think that changed a lot of my perspective on things too. Just really being present, and
Yeah.
if stuff is fun,
whatever feels right.
have fun. Yeah,
I think that a lot of people are like that now, and a lot of people look at things like that since
Yeah.
COVID. And it's just like,
yeah, man.
do whatever the fuck you want.
He's gonna lose 2 years
Yeah.
just at the drop of a hat. Like, what the
Literally.
fuck was that?
Literally.
Um,
Last question.
no, we got one more. We got one.
Oh,
We got
wow.
a few more.
Easy, Tiger.
I beefed it up a bit.
Do you know what I
But-
actually just realized? Are we
Yeah.
are we doing listener questions?
Do you want to?
I completely forgot about
We can because
Yeah.
we've got them, and I've got
Surely.
a cool little fucking PowerPoint thingy that I've prepared, so we can totally.
that.
do it.
Absolutely, we'll
all
do
right,
it.
cool.
All right. So, do we want to
Okay. Oh, I want to ask the next question.
go?
Size queen, yay or nay?
Are you talking about like dick size or
Handbag size.
handbag
No, of course,
size?
penises.
Of course, we're talking about handbag
The cack.
sizes.
Yeah.
Does size matter?
I mean, you obviously don't want to be with someone that's like,
Micro penis.
yeah,
Yeah, that's every human being's worst fear, male
Yeah.
and female.
and you obviously don't want it to be too big that you feel it through your brain.
But there are size queens. There are chicks that love
I've
feeling like they're about to
something.
die.
There's a guy that I
Yep.
previously slept with.
Mhm.
He was in America.
Yep.
Um,
You would
and
have loved the States.
oh, don't even don't. We should do a full podcast
Wait,
episode on the
how do you-
States.
how do you feel about how they catcall and shit on the street?
Oh my god, it's so bad over
It's
there.
fucked, man.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter where you go, women will always be catcalled over there.
Yeah.
Even if you're just going from
I got
crossing the
told-
road.
I was going
Yeah.
to say, even I have heard that males feel like they're being catcalled
Mm-hmm. yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like,
There's a very
no,
open
seriously.
dialogue, especially in
Yeah.
the gay areas, man.
I heard that. They're
Even
like,
I think with Americans, just in general, them as people are
Yeah.
very forward.
They
Like,
do. They have monologues in the street. You're like,
oh my god,
I remember I was walking with the guys. I'm like, look at this motherfucker having a conversation with himself, and he's not crazy.
he's not.
Like-
It's 8 a.m. He's just left the gym and he's talking with himself.
Yeah,
Like,
it's fucking weird, man.
yeah, and they'll
So
just tell
weird.
you how they feel about you right then and right there, right to your face, and you're like,
I can
I'm just trying to
appreciate
go
it.
get coffee.
I can
Like,
appreciate it.
Oh my god.
But yeah, you haven't answered. Do you like big dick? Did you say that? No. Oh, you like
well, I
a
was getting there.
50-50.
There was a
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
that I
yeah.
was seeing.
Yes.
Talk,
Yeah.
slept with in America. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And he was just like too big that you couldn't even enjoy it.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
have actually had a situation like
And it's
that.
like, it's like I'm in too much
Yeah.
pain. Like I can't even finish this
It
because
gets
I'm just
awkward. It does.
yeah.
It gets very awkward.
So I think size doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And I think as well, like for me, the point leading up to sex is a lot more enjoyable than actually
Yeah.
Can I ask
the
a
actual
follow-up
act.
question? Length or girth?
girth.
It's honest question.
Girth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was surprised. There are quite a few girls that prefer length, and I'm like,
Nah.
it's like hot dog down a hallway style
Nah.
thing, though, isn't that
Nah.
weird?
But did you know
Like-
that females have like every female has a different
Yes.
cavity
Depth.
of
Yeah, depth vagina. Yeah.
So different penis
Yeah.
sizes,
Suit
shapes,
different
etc.
vaginas. Yeah.
Fit
Suit
differently.
different. So you'll
Yeah.
like say what I feel like, what I think feels good is different for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like for some women it's length, for some women it's girth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why that can be a determinant of what you prefer
It-
as well.
And that's our scientific evidence for the day. It's I think that's the big thing with Asian girls too, because they tend to have shallower, smaller vaginas.
Yeah.
It's not being racist, is it?
No.
If it's just that's what happens,
just a
right?
fact.
Because black dudes proportionately bigger dicks, and Asian girls have smaller vaginas.
Is that why some guys will be like, you have a tight pussy or something?
Well, that's I think. Well, but that's the ideal goal,
going on?
right? No, but it definitely is. The tight minge is you know,
the minge.
it's the dream. Like, but to be fair, I'm thinking now.
Is
I
that
don't
why guys
think
love it in the butt?
that's what they say.
Mm.
It's just it depends. Like, it's if once you have a couple bad experiences with that, you just kind of like, it's fine.
You get an immediate ick.
Yeah, and it's like it's. I get it. But there are some female friends who literally can only come from anal sex.
Wow.
Mm.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's like a complete night and day difference. She's trying to switch completely to that.
Oh yeah, no, not for me.
Yeah, no, but like I guess it's more whatever works, right?
Mm.
You just kind of got to. I'm getting away from this now.
Whatever floats your boat. Do whatever floats your
Yeah,
boat.
exactly. Thank you.
You do.
I was like, where are we going? Away from this, if we can, please. All right. So we actually do have some listener questions, guys. And we have a cute little PowerPoint presentation that some guy
Oh,
made.
look at the effort.
It's very cute.
Love it.
But so you put out a poll this week on your socials. And we actually got like a pretty fucking decent response. And it should kick into the next. Was that there? All right. So Hannah, 30 and out of a 10-year relationship, navigating the dating scene, very scary. Finding out what it means to be ghosted.
Are we going to do? Hang on a minute. For
Yes.
the listeners and my following
Yes.
and my clients and whoever else has
Uh-huh.
decided to partake, are we going to do anonymous? Let's do anonymous.
It's fucking on the screen. You should have checked it before. They've got their names on it.
Oh, I know.
Miss-
Okay.
There's like
All
a
right.
little animation. Do
Oh
you
my
wanna-
god.
Oh, you know what? I can edit it. There's only a few people watching right now.
All right. So
I'll
How many
blur it
people
out.
are watching?
Hey?
answer to the question.
We've got about 6-ish. So when it says 2, you pad by about 5. We're about 6 people tuned in.
Cool.
Okay, so 30 and out of a 10-year relationship. Do you know what? This is huge at the moment.
Yeah.
This is huge. Like,
COVID popped so many
I-
fucking relationships.
oh
God,
my
yeah.
God. I remember when I got
Cool
out of
if I
a
turn the AC on?
relationship.
Yeah, go for it.
I remember when I got out of a relationship at 25.
You had that massive one. Was it that big?
No.
long?
I got out of a long-term relationship at 22, but then another long-term relationship at 25.
How long?
How old?
Long.
3 years.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and then back then I was like, oh my God, I've got to start from scratch again. I've got to go be single. But then imagine becoming single at 30. It's a really big thing for people because
So
they're
I had
like,
a conversation with a mate recently. And it happened to me.
And how to
It happened
navigate
to me at
that.
32.
yeah.
It's terrifying for all of about 5 minutes. Once you find that it's not a barren wasteland and
Yeah.
you're some old fucking heathen wrinkled dick that no one wants to date. I think for scope, hitting that dating space in your mid 40s would be a bit more daunting because
And
that's
if you've got
completely
kids, you
different.
want kids, all of that too, right?
Early 30s, a lot of people, as things shift, are kind of married, looking at kids. There's the edge cases where the younger groups have kids, but I think it's still
I think it's fine.
an adjustment. But yeah, you're more than fine.
I also
You'll have the best sex you've ever had.
yes.
It's
You know what
adjusting
you
as well
want.
coming out of a 10-year relationship.
This is
Yeah.
true. Do you know what I've realized in the last few years? I don't really get bad sex anymore because it's like I've
Correct.
just matured and it's like no one's really bad. Like
No,
most people are good because they know what they're doing. I mean, you'd like to hope so
And,
anyway.
but part of it too is you learn that you stop becoming a passenger in fucking. When you're younger, no
You
one
become
wants to
the
do.
boss.
Yeah, but no, like, but it's like a mutual kind of like. You will do what makes you happy, and you can have a conversation about like fucking do that or do this or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're not scared to say shit. We're in like your early 20s. You're just glad you're having sex. As a guy, you're like, fucking, this is fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, you're more specific,
When
I
you
guess,
hit
when
your
you're older.
space, you're like,
Another
you're
thing,
comfortable.
when
You know
you're
what
th-
you want.
I was going to say, yeah, because you know what you want as well. When you are dating at 30, you can just wipe out anyone that you're like, nah, not for me.
Yeah, correct.
Like you can nip it in the
the
butt
bud,
early.
yeah.
Very early on,
Whereas,
yeah.
like, you know, when you're younger, I feel like you let things drag out a lot earlier.
Yeah. You do.
To the ghosting question,
Yeah.
what does it mean to be ghosted? Can we? Oh,
Okay. So the
God, I
ghosting.
hate this.
Ghosting, I guess. I've tried to. I had a really good explanation for Amy, because she was like, "It's kind of fucked up." And
What it is or how to deal with it? I think everyone
both,
knows what it is.
both.
Finding out what it
Yeah,
means
yeah,
to be
yeah.
ghosted,
but
so
like,
probably dealing
but
with it.
explaining
why
the
people
reason
do
as
it?
to why it happens,
Yes.
right? It is that awkward space of like, would you prefer a dude every time be like, "Hey, so I don't like this, this, and this, and what you did was weird, and I don't want to fucking
I
speak
100% would rather that.
every single
Same,
time."
Yep,
Because
100%.
think about it as it builds up over time. You're gonna have such a complex about like every single fucking thing that a dude
Yeah, but
says.
it depends on you as a person. It depends on your
Yeah.
own personal
It's very
level
brutal.
of
Imagine that,
self-worth.
like-
I can take it, I think. I feel like I've got very thick
Yeah.
skin and
Yeah.
I would rather you tell me how it is.
And
That's just
I guess
me.
part of it too is, I guess, like understanding that it's not necessarily always about you. Also,
Yeah.
there could just not be a vibe, and it's awkward to be like, things are good. I don't know why I don't want to date you or fuck you, but I don't.
And ending it's
And
hard
we're not
as
really
well.
good at verbalizing that sometimes too. You could, like you said, you know how you know sometimes straight away. We can know straight away that we don't know. We don't know why. We don't know why. but
Yeah.
we just know.
That
We
we
don't
I
know
think
why. Yeah.
can I justify ghosting then maybe?
Yes.
So I think that if you have gone on one date with someone you don't know, you've never met from a bar of soap and you've gone on
Yeah.
a date, hasn't worked out, I don't think you owe it to them
Yeah. I
to
think
give
so.
an
Correct.
explanation.
Yeah.
But if you've been seeing somebody or you have actually sent a message with
Yeah.
a question and have been ghosted, that's wrong. That's not okay.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if you go on a date with someone and it was a bit shit and then you just never speak again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think you owe it to them to justify yourself. But I think if you have been seeing somebody for a long time or a decent amount of time
Yeah.
and you've messaged them or you've sent a message with a question that clearly deserves a response or an explanation
Yeah.
and they don't reply, that's just rude.
And
Yeah.
I look, I think for Hannah, like it's obviously like it's rough when you finally be
I
like,
actually think she
"Oh,
doesn't give a shit, to be honest.
That's good.
I think she just wanted to
She's
drop
just helping out.
drop the question. She was helping out with some suggestions, but I think this girl's great. She's
So I think for anyone that might be struggling with it, I guess in general, because we'll have people that are like, yeah, actually, you know what, fucking.
I need help with
It-
this question.
The best thing is to not take it personally
100%.
and look at it as more them.
Yeah,
than
for
you.
sure.
Yep.
And like, because mate, if you take everything personally with dating, it just adds up. And you're like,
Oh.
while there's nothing more personal than dating someone, there is so much more going on than the actual interaction.
So
If that
true.
makes sense.
sure.
So true.
For sure.
What do we got next? All right. So the biggest
Oh, you
lesson
can learn today.
learned from a relationship.
Kayla, maybe you can
Yeah,
kick
I'm
it
just
off.
thinking.
Yeah.
Biggest lesson
I'm
learned.
so glad you guys did your homework.
The biggest lesson I have learnt is that you need to your gut feeling is always right. I said this last
You
week.
did.
100%.
You did.
But
Yeah.
my biggest lesson from any dating experience is you need to trust your gut. Your intuition's right.
Yep.
If you're like, he's cheating on me, he's bloody cheating on you.
Yeah,
Yeah, or
100%.
even learning that like the reason I'm feeling like that is because I'm not getting something from this, and I need
Yes.
to either
Yep.
address it or get the fuck out.
Yep.
Even like what I said before is like the last
Your
guy that I
less-
was seeing is like I almost knew instantly there was a shift in energy.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? But
Yeah.
even though I chose to ignore it at the time, even previous relationships that I've been in as well, like when as soon as you get a gut feeling, I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. I know men get like have intuition as well, but I think women's is just that much
I
stronger.
think you guys can pick up pheromone shifts a lot quicker than we can.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's probably because it's in your invested interest to be able to pick up on that stuff before things actually eventuate. Because obviously, like
Yeah.
We can read
most
the
situations,
room.
yeah, like
Yeah.
dudes are intimidating and strong, right?
Yeah.
So to be able to pick up on something before we even know shit's weird and just
Yeah.
bounce.
Yeah.
It's an energy
Is safe.
too. It's
Yeah.
like without you even
100%.
having to say something,
so.
like I already know how you're feeling. I already know.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
any lessons that you've thought about in the 5 seconds we've been talking? Or would you like me to move on to the next one?
I know what your lesson is. If they are not willing to introduce you to their family or they're not wanting to get involved with your
Nah,
family, they're
that
not for you.
Nah, that wouldn't be my big. Mine would be my gut feeling.
Gut feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
That
guys
would.
are big on gut?
Yeah.
100%.
I think my biggest one would be ego needs to be gone. When you're in a relationship with someone,
Oh yeah.
ego can interfere with so much fucking shit.
Mm.
You've got a person that's literally on your team and you constantly have to remind yourself. Actually, a very good friend of mine did say this because I asked him, I was like, how did you know? And like, you know, how do you guys, because they've been together forever and all this sort of stuff. And he was like, honestly, man, he goes, just get your ego. And when you know it flares up, just fucking throw it out the window and just engage with the person that you've been with for forever
Yeah.
on a real level. And it makes things so much easier.
That's another lesson. I do have one last lesson, and that lesson is communication.
Oh,
If
comms
you don't
is
if you don't have
heaps, man.
communication with them,
Yeah.
yeah, leave.
All right. Worst relationship you girls have each had.
My last one.
Really? Do tell.
Spill the beans.
Like, look at that picket. Like, anyway, Georgia, what's going on?
Worst relationship.
Yeah.
Toxicity,
Mm.
lack of communication,
Yeah.
can't be vulnerable, can't
Yeah.
be trusted, puts their phone on airplane mode,
Has
Ooh.
2 phones.
has 2 phones, lies, impulsive liar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could keep going.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Yeah.
I think most women have been in a relationship where they've experienced something like that.
But it's because I guess that there's a lot of charisma that goes along with those personality traits. And usually from what I've heard, those dudes are pretty intense, and usually people that are pretty intense fuck really good. So there's like all of these extra
Nah,
layers.
not
and you're
even.
Like, oh,
Not
shit.
even.
Okay.
not
Okay.
Worst relationship.
Georgia,
Worst
The
relationship.
situation shippy guy. Move on to the next question. All right, moving along. Biggest icks. All right. Anyone want to go first?
Think.
I guess for me, the biggest icks would be, like telling me shit. So like that's you know
Being
how there was, like-
vulnerable?
no. So like you know how mansplaining is a thing. There's like mum-splaining. So like when someone treats you like they're your mum, like a lot of people will be like, no. So like what I was trying, it's like, okay, I'm not a fucking idiot. Like just talk to me. That
mean,
will
like, being
straight up, just my
condescending?
dick will invert, and I'll be like, oh, fucking, I need to leave. This is weird.
Yeah.
A lot of, I guess, a lot of girls on dates that have very like big personalities will like try and like minimize you as a guy sometimes,
Yeah.
and like that's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. I don't have a dick. It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think, what's your ick?
Probably guys that are just full of themselves, like that are just so obsessed and cocky.
Arrogance.
Like arrogance. As soon as you say,
Can I
like,
just remind you? You did say that you need to date a guy that goes to the gym.
oh, you know, I was just about to say there are so many guys at the gym
Yeah.
that are like that, and
Yeah.
it's just like
So do you think maybe
That
you look
is
for
my
like?
ick.
there's a
For
difference. There's a
sure.
difference between confidence and arrogance, though. So,
Yeah.
and as long as they know what the difference is as well,
Mm.
because you can tell people that are arrogant and cocky,
Yes.
arrogant and confident.
Oh, the
So,
differences.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So that as soon as you
So
see that,
we're doing the double.
Arrogance is an
Okay.
ick.
yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see a trend. How you both like gym bros but hate gym bros at the
Yeah.
same time.
No, I
It's
like
not-
athletic boys.
yeah.
I like guys who are.
Did we cover what's the worst date you've ever been on? I think we did, didn't we?
I don't think I've been on any
I've
terrible
been on
dates.
a pretty shit date. One of the worst dates I've been on was a guy who was insanely sent me essay comms through text, right? Like I'm talking essay text messages.
Oh God.
Met up with him in person.
Yeah.
Was scared to talk to me. Couldn't look at me. Could not look at me. We're at the dinner.
So dating app.
Dating app.
Yeah.
Sent me essays for days,
Yeah.
asking me 100 questions
So
about.
Kayla,
wanting to
he
get
was
to
an
know me.
intellectual,
So
and I think he was just
he was
intimidated.
nervous. Apparently, he was
He might
intimidated
be a
by
little
me.
bit asparagus.
Apparently, he was.
You- You-
Asparagus.
You're not it's not a bad thing, but you have a big
Too
personality.
He was
Um,
too shy. He couldn't look at me. He couldn't look in my eyes.
Yeah. Was this COVID-y times?
No,
Okay.
I don't think
I'm
that's
trying
an
to help
excuse.
this guy out. Oh, you know,
But it was a shit date.
legitimately.
Because it was just awkward. It was me just talking and trying to ask questions and stimulate, and it was just
Okay.
weird and awkward.
But I found it hard to make eye contact coming out of COVID with people. I had to force myself. I'm like, why am I not looking at cunts for? And I was like,
Did you feel,
I'm
did
like,
you,
no, because I was on my own for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I'd speak to my parents. I feel completely comfortable with them. And then randoms, I'm like, fucking what?
Did you get a little bit of social anxiety? I think a lot
so.
of people actually
I think
got
so. I
social
think that's what
This is
happened.
no
And I didn't
excuse.
want to acknowledge it because I'm supposed to be a social butterfly or whatever. But I was like, no, I can't have social anxiety. That's not normal. But yeah,
Yeah.
it happened, I think.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
All right. So yours was the quiet guy that fucking sent essays. Did you get essays after the shitty date?
Yes, and he wanted
Yeah,
another
that'd be
date, and I was like, I
right.
just don't think I can do this. I
Yeah.
said, something I'll give my credit to is I'm pretty honest,
Yeah.
blatantly honest with people.
Okay.
He really wanted to
And
do
you
another
weren't just
date.
do you think not feeling the vibe on the first date?
I just was not
Stop
feeling it.
for
I
follow-up?
got the
Yeah.
ick really quickly.
Okay. I can see
I
how
got
they
the
feed
ick,
into
and I
each
just
other.
couldn't do it. I was like, I'm not feeling it. If you're hesitant,
Mm.
nah. You're
Yeah.
either a fuck yay or a nay. Fuck yes. or no.
Absolutely.
Okay, so have you if you have a lukewarm date or it's 50-50, what happens?
A lukewarm, you'll give him a second chance.
For sure. Yeah.
But if it was a bit
Do you have many lukewarm dates? I feel like I had a lot of lukewarm dates.
I've had a lot of
I've had a lot
Yeah.
of lukewarm dates.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you give
Okay.
them the second chance, and then it's like,
Yeah. Fair.
it's either a yes or a no.
Feel you. All right.
I haven't been on any bad dates that stick out.
All right. Are you ready for one of? It is probably.
Oh my
the
God, I'm
worst
ready
date
for it.
I've
Go.
Ever had. All right.
Go.
So this was during lockdown, and I'd met obviously someone on a dating app because that's how you dated in lockdown and whatever.
That's how you date. Period.
So
Literally.
we had queued up a Zoom date as our first date, and
Oh my
it was because
God.
it was to vet to see if there was a vibe because they didn't want to. When you had your curfews and stuff, they had to come
You wanna
here and
break the rules
basically
for it.
stay here.
Oh, you had to
right?
just sleep with
But-
them on the first date because there
No,
was
but I wanted to
other
check that
choice.
there was a vibe first. Because
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
if they come and it's awkward, then they have to possibly get arrested on the way home or sleep on the couch.
Mm.
And I'm not a big fan of the sexless innkeeper where you're just fucking, you okay? Cool. It's just fuck off home if there's nothing, you know what I mean? Anyway,
There's nothing here for you.
there's nothing here for you.
Oh, dear.
But so I had this cute idea where I would pick a bottle of wine for her and she would pick one for me and we'd go get them and we'd make charcuterie just talk shit.
That's pretty
and
cute.
then-
That's
right?
cute. I love that.
Yes, but the date was going so well that I fucking polished an entire bottle of wine off on my own. Didn't
Blind.
realize. Went for a run beforehand. Hadn't drank any water. Right. Didn't have any of the food because I'm like, I don't want her to see me eating on camera. This is fucking weird.
Oh, my God.
Literally, at one point, she went off camera to go to the toilet, and I'm like, I'm fucked.
That's so
And
funny.
I had to run to that toilet and
To throw
started
up.
vomiting. And it was one of these mics, and she heard me vomit the entire time.
Oh my gosh.
I basically blacked out. And I tried to text her drunk, and it was just fucking
Blurry.
nothing.
Oh bless.
But I salvaged it. She came over, we caught up properly, and it was fine.
Hang on, there was a second date.
But, yeah, I salvaged it.
Oh,
It's me.
yeah.
It was me. It's fine. I honestly, I couldn't believe it. I remember when she was like, "Yeah, it's okay, we'll catch up again." I was like, I messaged the boys. I'm like, she's
Fucking
day.
keen. She's like, you know, I've made it.
I'm like, the conversation that I can't remember must have been fucking amazing.
That's so funny. That's
But yeah,
true though. Like you
that was-
can even just like FaceTiming or even
Yeah.
like Zooming, you can get kind of a vibe to see if you
And
gel
that's-
well
I
with
would,
them.
I would
or-
just do it because it nips it in the bud.
100%.
You don't make someone come like, half an hour, 45 minutes into an unsafe space. It's just better for everyone. Like if
100%.
it's weird, it's fine. Like
Cut the
just see you
call
later.
short and
Yeah,
that's it.
man. You can do whatever digital. It's not awkward.
Yeah.
I remember I was fucking hungover the next day, and my dad came to check in because they could come and check in to make sure you didn't kill yourself. And he's like, "Peter, what the fuck happened?" I'm like,
I had a Zoom date.
"It was a date, Dad." And he's like, "Someone came over." I'm like, "No," and he was just so confused. I'm like, "We'll talk tomorrow. Is there Macca's downstairs?" And he's like, "Yeah, it was by the door." I'm like, "Can you bring it up?"
Bring that up for me, Dal.
That is actually
love my dad. He's the
classic.
best.
That's so good.
That was fucking ridiculous.
Perfect. Oh my
Um,
god, what's this?
All right, here we go. So this is back to the gym stuff. So it's good we've cut over. Would you ever date a guy who didn't go to the gym?
Probably not.
Yeah, it's a.
Fucking, that was very clear.
I
Just
mean,
because, like, I think like people who regularly go to the gym
Mm.
and care for themselves physically and look
Yeah.
after themselves physically
turn on for
is
you.
a turn on, and
Yeah.
it's like it shows that you've got some sort of discipline to
Mm.
care.
I think it's
about-
big for mindset. And a big thing you
Yeah.
said was like, you don't have to be peeled, you don't have to be shredded, you just have
Nah.
to train.
you need to have your thing.
Yeah.
You need to have your thing of being active. I
Yeah.
think. So like I spoke about this in terms of you need to be fit, you need to be active, you need to care about your health, you need to care about actually like giving a shit about how you look and feel.
Yeah.
Because your lifestyle is a huge indicator as to how you're going to be in a relationship as well. I think.
Even
yeah.
and that trickles over to every area of your life too, like relationships, work, friendships, everything.
I think Ames got a bit worried when I was like, I hate the gym, but I'll continue to do it forever. Because it's like, it's not my happy place, but it's what I need to be okay.
Yeah, see,
Do
I
you know what
almost
mean?
feel like I don't want to.
Well, you guys, it's, you
I've
love
dated.
it, right?
I've
Like,
been.
it's your
Yeah, but
thing.
I've been in a position like that.
Yeah.
My first ex partner, I had to force him to the gym because he knew I valued it. And I never
Yeah.
want to be in that position again.
Yeah.
I want to generally date a guy
Yeah.
that actually loves going to the gym or
Yeah.
loves playing footy or loves being active and
need
fit
active
and
people.
healthy.
Has
Yeah,
a
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
Has a
no.
thing.
I don't need to, I don't want to change them into somebody they're not.
Yeah.
I
It's-
need to
it's
just date
awkward
someone
because you want to do
who's-
shit.
Yeah, I
And
just
it
want to
is.
date someone who actually is into the gym and into, again, they don't have to be a bodybuilder. They don't have to be a
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
don't have to be a competitor.
Yeah.
But they want to just.
But I think, like you guys said, I don't think that would work because it is so selfish. And Amy's mentioned it before. She's like, you would never have wanted to date me while I was competing.
No.
'Cause
That's
it's-
the thing
it's
too, imagine
literally
you-
the most toxic shit ever.
Yeah, and you
Um,
both competing
Yeah.
too. Like you get
You
to a
guys
certain
totally start podcasts while you're competing. I'm sure that will be fun.
Oh, absolutely.
You'll be
you,
fine.
you get to a certain point in your prep too where you kind of just you lose the plot. So it's like if you're dating someone that's also in the same position where you're both losing the plot.
Yeah.
It's it's very toxic. It'll be very
Yep.
You're not yourself.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
I generally have a tendency to go for like triathletes or like guys that play footy or like they're fit and healthy, but they're not gym bros, if that
Footy
makes
boys.
sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
the other
That's
way.
another red flag, buddy.
Well, they are.
Footy boy, red flag.
But, but like, as in,
We've got a few of those clips on the podcast.
fuck. But they have to be into some kind of fitness.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
and looking
100%.
after themselves.
Do you find that men feel intimidated that you guys lift? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think it's like dudes are like, fuck yeah.
Do you know what I feel like they feel intimidated by? That
Yes.
we have our shit together.
Ah. What? So go elaborate.
And this is not me saying this. This is what people
That's
have
fine.
said.
No,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
what people
Yeah,
have said
This
to
can be
me.
your opinion also. It's okay.
Yeah, so this is what I think for me, I'm somebody who okay, a lot of guys like to think that they can support their partner.
I've noticed that. Yes.
And they like to feel like they are the higher income winner.
Yeah, yeah. It's this
the
weird kind of
breadwinner.
high ground that
That
a lot
that
of dudes need.
guys like to be that one up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So guys come and they're like, all right, cool. Not that they consciously are aware that they earn more money or that they're
I think you'd have to be
depending
though.
on
Yeah.
like that they can support their partner or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't need to be I don't need to depend on somebody. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I work 2 jobs.
Mm.
I have my own property.
Yep.
I have my own business. Like I have all these things that they kind of go, oh, she doesn't need to be taken care of. She kind of takes care of herself. And I mean, for me, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, and
but
I feel like they've lost some sort of leverage.
So I feel like
Yeah,
I feel like in my head I'm like, but I feel like I've got my shit together.
Yeah.
And then I've spoken to people about this, and they're like, I think people are intimidated by you. But that then makes me sound like I'm very arrogant and cocky.
I think as well.
And that's not the case.
I see what you're saying, but no.
Yeah.
At the same time.
I think a lot of men, though, correct me if I'm wrong, like men.
I can speak on behalf of all men, that's fine. No worries.
I think men generally like to not look after women, pay for everything, but like men like to provide for women.
It is nice to provide.
Yeah.
But I guess logically moving into this space, as a dude who doesn't think that way, I was talking to someone about this recently, actually, today, that his gears are being grinded because she literally said to him that she prefers the 80-20 split. And in terms of paying for dinners and shit, I'm like,
so men
I
pays
can't.
80?
Yeah. 80% of the time. Yeah, exactly.
Like, as
right?
in he should be paying 80%.
Yeah.
Oh, nah.
Some women that like that though.
That's right. So I think there is a lot of dudes that enjoy that, and I have friends that enjoy doing that. But for me, because I want to thrive and I want to kick ass, I definitely realize these days you can't do it on your own. So that's why, like, I'm attracted to girls that like fucking do their own thing, fucking dominate at it, and it's like because it's like we can both bring
to the
shit to the table,
yeah,
and just make an awesome little kingdom together,
100%.
and just keep fucking pumping.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean?
Yes,
it's like it's not a solo race, like a group thing.
100%.
And you get stronger together.
You're on the same team.
You know,
that's
Yeah.
that's my opinion.
Yeah,
I say that, and then we worked out, and I'm like, Ames, if we have kids, I think you have to keep working, and I have to stay at home.
Yeah,
I'll
If
be the
we're not
stay-at-home
gonna
dad.
Yeah, which would be all right. The kids will love the toys; it'll be fine.
Yeah,
It's all good.
absolutely.
I'll culture the fuck out of them. But moving on to the next one.
I just read the next question.
Yeah, this is. I think it's specifically for one person in the room. Which I'll read it to you. Is your partner not liking Millie a deal breaker? I guess for us it would be Oh, sorry, Miley. My bad.
So who's Miley? Who's Miley?
Is that your dog?
It's my golden retriever.
Yeah. So I guess for us it would be. Are you a dog person?
I am a dog person.
And you have a dog?
I do have a dog.
Yeah. So if they didn't like your dog, would that be?
Wouldn't be a deal breaker.
Okay, that'd be big for me. My dog, I love.
I think it would be a
Sorry,
little bit.
not that I meant that you didn't love your dog. I just meant, sorry, I raised him as a pup, and I was like, if someone had an issue with the pup, with Balon, I'd be like,
I actually think it would be a
get the
problem.
fuck
Like
out
it's
of my
not.
house.
It's not like it wouldn't be like I wouldn't be like, nah, we're not continuing this relationship, whatever, just because you don't like my dog. Like if you don't like my
Okay.
dog, you can get the fuck
Interesting.
over yourself. Like it's my fucking dog.
Oh, I
You
see
know what I
you're
mean?
saying.
Like,
yeah, you're still.
It's not going to be a deal breaker, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you can just get
Now,
over
do you know what it
yourself.
says to me? If
Yes.
my dog doesn't like you, you're a shit person.
Yeah.
Because generally, if
But do you think she can get protective of you too?
My
How
dog's
is
like
she?
that.
How is she with dudes usually?
no, she's fine.
Okay, yeah,
She
so she's
just
a good
wants
judge.
attention.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if
yeah.
you give her attention, like if you're a guy coming into my place and
Yeah.
you give my dog attention,
Yeah.
she gonna love you,
Yeah,
and it's
okay.
all good.
Yeah.
She's
But golden
really not that
retrievers
hard
are
to
like
please.
that.
She's
Yeah,
really
they are.
actually she's very easygoing.
Yeah.
I've got a little white Maltese Shih Tzu, and
Yeah.
he hates males.
Oh, he
Yeah.
would.
Hates males, and he's
Okay.
anytime a male is around or like you're hugging someone
Yeah.
else, doesn't like it.
Yeah, interesting.
Mm.
Okay.
But I think it depends on the breed of the dog. Like golden retrievers are just happy.
Yeah.
There's no issue with that. I don't think anyone would not like her. Just her,
Yeah, 100%.
Just her neediness. She loves a snuggle, and
she's smiling every
she
time you
just-
look at her.
when she gets kicked off the bed, though.
Yeah.
That's one
That'd be.
thing. She
yeah.
gets kicked out of the bedroom.
Does
Obviously,
she get weird? Like
She
and
just-
scratch the door?
She no. She
Okay.
doesn't do anything like that. But
Yeah.
she's like, she sighs at me. She's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. That's the big thing. Like,
I'm laughing because you know
Yeah.
what her sigh
That's
is.
so
cute.
She gives me a sigh. She gives me a sigh, like a real like.
Come on, mum.
it's pretty full on though. Like Balon used to do it. He would chill on the bed, and then when I'd go to sleep, he'd just be like, "Fine, bro, I'll go downstairs."
Fine.
That's what Miley does.
Come on, buddy.
Because
Yeah.
obviously she gets kicked out, but
Yeah.
nah, it's all good.
All
It's not a deal breaker.
So, so we know your spontaneous date. You had the fucking rowing and shit.
Yeah.
For you, most spontaneous
Rowing
date. You're an hour and a half. I'm just trying to push through it. So you
Yeah,
haven't-
I don't think. Oh,
so you felt no spontaneity on dates.
There's been a time where I've
If there's any comfort, as a guy, I've never felt that the other person has been spontaneous on any of our dates because I feel like I've driven them all. So It's fine.
Most men usually
You're a stronger personality, so maybe.
Not really spontaneous.
Yeah. No,
Nah.
just all fucking boring.
Yeah.
All right. I think this is the last few questions. All right. We'll go. So instead of 5, maybe 3 important must-haves for an equal relationship. I like that.
for an equal
Yeah.
relationship.
So 3 things that you're like, if this happens, I know it's equal. So for me, I feel like if there's the dance for the check on like the first couple of dates, I know things are
Yeah.
going to be good.
Yeah.
If
The dance for the check. I like that. I
it's-
like that.
Honestly,
Yeah.
the dance is huge. I
Yeah.
had a whole episode.
There has to be an offer there.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Yeah.
no, let me get this. No,
Yeah,
no,
the-
I'll take. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. It's literally that's literally all it needs to be is the
Yeah.
intention,
The
to not
intention.
use you as a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I went on a date to the place next to the bar on St Kilda, the Espy. There's like a
Yeah.
Japanese place there. It's
Yes.
fucking expensive, man.
Mm.
It was the first date.
Oh, I will always, if it's
yeah.
expensive as well, I will always volunteer
The
to
bill
contribute.
was like fucking $350, $400
Oh,
bucks.
yeah, you're gonna.
And look, but
she
I
expected
have a
you to pay.
move. I have a move where I pay when I go to the toilet, right?
Yeah.
But then I just
cool.
say, "Oh, we can leave," and it's just to see if she's like, "Oh, but we haven't paid yet." Didn't say shit. Just walked all the way to the car, had our chat or whatever, and then bounced.
Did
and I'm
she
like,
say thank you?
I mean, she said dinner was great, thanks, awesome. Like, no acknowledgement that she had paid nothing,
Ew.
or that the bill was fucking astronomical,
Oh
or that the
my
place was quite nice.
Did you see her again
Um,
after that?
No,
Yeah.
and I think
Is
that's
that what
why.
you
But
red
it was like it was more. Yeah, she was being a bit of a fucking.
I was
bitch.
gonna say,
Um,
yeah, for it to be an equal relationship.
Yeah.
So like, even them doing you favors, like them cooking you dinner,
Yeah.
them, rather than you always making the effort to initiate doing stuff, them also initiating to
100%.
like, let's go do this, let's
Yeah.
go do that, rather than it just being say me, hey, we should do this, we should do that. Like, I think equal
Yes.
initiation of what to do for entertainment.
Yeah, you feel like you
or,
can't do all the heavy
dates
lifting
or
on your own.
catch-ups and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
sure.
effort. Like,
equal effort. I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
them putting in the effort, especially like I've had a guy that helped like prep my meals and stuff like that. And it
Things
made
like
That's
that.
wicked. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
made
God.
such a difference. Like, I
Have you
remember, I
dated a
nearly,
girl that
I nearly
can
started
cook?
bloody crying. I was
gonna-
like,
that's
prepping my meals. What's
so
going on?
nice. I had a guy, oh my God, that he literally cooked me dinner, and I was tracking my macros. I was in a deficit.
Yeah.
He fucking weighed out all my food.
Oof,
Yeah.
dude,
He
that's-
weighed out all my food, gave me the macros,
Yeah.
gave me the MyFitnessPal breakdown.
Oh,
Yeah.
And it was like,
absolute darling.
here's your
And
dinner.
why did the guy not have a sainthood? Like,
And I was
what
like,
happened?
You're amazing. He
Yeah.
lived too far.
How
didn't-
far is too far?
Oh, like an hour and 15
Jesus.
minutes.
Yeah,
My
no, too far.
God. Okay.
The other
Love you,
side.
Amy.
But also,
45 minutes
yeah,
is okay.
no,
It's like
didn't
an
work out. Didn't work out.
Yeah.
But that was really nice.
Yeah,
That was the lovely
isn't it?
gesture.
It's such, like
Yeah.
something like that when they've gone to the effort to even weigh it out,
Yeah, I
cook
know.
it the way you need to have it.
So
Oofed.
good. So good.
Oofed. I love that word tonight, don't I?
No, it's
Oofed and
good.
cringe.
It is one of my fave. All right, so biggest lesson, we can close on this too. The biggest lesson learnt from any relationship that you've
I
been
think we
in.
had that
We had
before.
this before.
Did we?
Mm,
Trust your gut.
yeah.
Yeah, we did. My
Mm.
bad. I probably copied this twice.
Yeah.
It was probably Mickey both times.
Takeaways. Yeah. The biggest takeaway, I think, in any relationship is that, yeah, your intuition is always going to be
If
right.
it looks like shit and smells like shit, it's a
it's
steaming pile
probably
of shit.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust
Or
your
if
gut.
it's good and you feel like you're being crazy, you could be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Most of
could
the
just
time
be
you're
you
not wrong.
overanalyzing. Yeah,
Most of the
that's
time you're
true
not
too.
wrong.
Mm.
On that contradicting thought. Thanks very much for coming on, Georgia.
Thank you very much
That
for
was-
having me.
See, you were worried. We did an hour and a half.
I know.
Literally an hour
So
and
we
a half.
did. Oh,
Yeah. So how do you guys?
Look
Did you enjoy it?
I
Was it
did.
good?
I did. I loved
fun.
it.
Did you
Yeah, it
learn
was fun.
heaps?
I did.
I just felt a bunch of stuff I didn't want to
I-
feel. And-
did
I
you?
felt extremely
you
uncomfortable.
told you told me last time I came on that you learned a lot from me.
I did.
But
I
did you
did.
learn anything else today?
I think I related a lot with Georgia.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing that I learned, I guess, was kind of seeing, that it's kind of, it made me feel a bit better, to see that girls do get fucked around,
Mm.
as well as, because it feels like, obviously, as a dude, that it only happens to dudes.
Yeah.
So it just, and that's a terrible thing to be like, oh, that made me feel, but it did kind of be like, I think things are starting to balance out.
That's
Yeah.
like when you
In
told me
life.
I'm surprised you've been rejected before.
That's agreed.
And I said,
see how that's a common thing.
Of course, I've
just-
been
like,
rejected before.
But
Yeah.
I guess when you're a dude and you're constantly dating and kind of seeing you never realize the times you don't reply to someone, or the times that like you had a conversation with someone and you're like, like you don't. Now that like we have these chats, I'm like, oh, I've done that a bit actually. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
And you don't. This is what I mean is like a lot of us don't really know
We're not conscious.
when it's happening.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know. Do you guys know when you swerve, dude? Sometimes in text and stuff. Like maybe it's passive.
I
It would
know.
happen heaps.
I know.
You're like every time I know, and if it hasn't happened, it's because you're a fucking idiot.
I know
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
100%. 100%.
And I think, I guess not that I have to worry about it anymore, but being more conscious, that like not replying to like whatever messages or whatever will fuck someone up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Whereas,
big on that. I will
Yeah.
never ghost somebody because I know how shit it is to be ghosted.
Mm.
And I've started taking a more honest approach with people. And I as even though you said before, sometimes it's not nice to be too honest, but
Yeah.
I'd rather just tell someone, hey, look, I'm actually not interested.
Yeah.
You know what the thing is too? It's like even though sometimes being brutally honest, it hurts for a couple of days, your ego's bruised, but then it's easier to move past it.
I
Whereas
agree.
if someone's breadcrumbing you for so long saying, you're the best, you're this, you're great, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're 12 months into seeing someone and then you breadcrumb for 12 months and then they just fucking go ghost you, that's worse because
That's
you're emotionally
worse.
invested then.
That's right. So yeah, I guess there's definitely a time limit on where ghosting you become basically a psychopath.
Yeah.
Whereas if you ghost earlier on, I think it is the thing
It's
where
more
you're trying
acceptable.
you've got your window where it's still going to be a bit shit, but
You're not going
if
to
you
take it
do
as
early-
personally.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
like, you still will. The amount of times I've had to be like, oh, it's most
can't
likely not
not.
me, but it feels like it's me right
Yeah.
now because they're not talking to me.
Initially, I think
Do you know what I mean?
the first point of rejection too is just like you can't not help think it's you, but
Yeah.
then it's like
Yeah.
the more you think about it and then the more you process it, you're just like, yeah, no, it's got nothing to do with
You
me.
know what? The more you get rejected, the better you get at dealing with it too.
You think that as a guy who approaches like you get used to it. Like
Mm.
when we used to go out heaps and you would talk and you would talk and you would talk. You get comfortable with the rejection.
I don't think it gets
sometimes
easy.
randomly though where it will just fucking hurt because you'll try and block it out. It kind of builds up, and it's just like fuck.
Yeah.
You're like, because then you're like, after a certain amount of time, like, is this going to stop?
Yeah.
Like the brain just will make it worse.
Yeah.
But you have to remind yourself to not take it personally.
That's
And
right.
to just keep fucking going because if you stop, then you just be miserable and
Yeah.
that person is just fucking fuck men or fuck women. Like
Yeah, you can't be
And they're the
that
worst
person.
types of people to be
You
around.
can't.
yeah, the
you
Clementine
can't.
Ford audience are terrible. Anyway, on that note, fuck Clementine Ford. We've been your hosts this evening, and thank you very much for joining us. You guys want to say anything before we go? I think we've done that already. We good to sign off?
See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting, the car's cold. The Fioriano
Get
came in,
the
get us-
fuck out of here! What fucking warming up? Get out of here!
All right.
You heard the man. Get out of here. Thanks for listening to Irrelevant Platitudes. Thanks, guys. Bye.